What's up, everybody? Welcome to this episode of Bullets, Barbells, and BBQ. I'm your host, Brett. Chris is still not here. Loser. Having a job. What an idiot.
Jobs are the worst.
Yeah. Matt is back. Little Deuce over here. And Tanner the Head is also still here.
You were still so trying to open that with one hand. Trying to be cool, and it fucking failed.
We have our show partners at Elite Nutrition Omaha. Check them out at elitenutritionomaha.com. Use code B3 at checkout for 10% off, or go to the store and yell B3.
Get a free shaker.
Last week I totally forgot the .com part. I was like, check them out at Elite Nutrition Omaha.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
You'll find it, probably.
Remember when you had to, like, everyone said, like, www. Like,
http://
Yeah. And now you're just like, fuck it.
Yeah.
The internet will figure it out.
Yeah, losers. We also have Rosewood Block. They make the best cutting boards in barbecue. Check them out at rosewoodblock.com. Use code B3 at checkout there for 10% also, because it is barbecue season.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
I got a brisket going right now on my Traeger named Lord of the Smoke Rings.
Is that what you have it named on your Wi-Fi?
Yeah, because I think the app will give you suggestions or something, and I think I just picked Lord of the Smoke. I haven't even seen the Lord of the Rings movies. I just call it Lord of the Smoke Rings.
Mine's Rebecca with a K.
I used to call Drew Dobro Lord of the Ringworm because he always had it all the time when he was younger. I was like, fucking Lord of the Ringworm. Yeah, it is. This after this comes out after Memorial Day, but you guys doing any barbecue in action? I got a brisket on literally right now, but I'm gonna do some smoked cream cheese and some of the W sauce chicken. I got some family coming down today.
I'm going to do some on Sunday. I don't know what I'm making. I don't know who for, but I really want some.
I hope it's thawed out at this point.
I'll
Or you're just gonna go
Cure.
buy it fresh.
Nice. Probably go to Cure and get some stuff.
But you have no idea.
Nope.
Good.
I've been outside being a farmer, and I had forgot that I was supposed to, like, smoke meat on Memorial Day weekend, so I don't have anything set out.
He did show us a picture of his farm, everybody. It's pretty.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up on a farm, so it's pretty lackluster. We had like a real field, and there's a lot of things. I'll give him that. There was a lot of things in the picture.
Yeah.
Do you have a page for your garden that people can follow?
No, I should.
A live stream?
Actually, I should.
You should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should have a page for it with a rainbow flag flying over it.
What country is that?
What do you have planted out there? You have everything, don't you?
Yeah. We have lettuce, spinach.
Why would you waste your time on lettuce? Come on.
Because you know how nice it is just to walk out, like if you need like lettuce for a burger and you just cut it off and use it real quick.
I don't put it on a burger, though.
Why not? Tacos?
Nope.
Well, you're an idiot. I don't know what to tell you.
I only eat lettuce with a salad.
I don't eat salads. I put it on meat.
That's weird.
Yeah. Everyone put lettuce on a sandwich.
Do you put lettuce on your sandwiches, Matt?
Mm-hmm.
Wrap.
I don't have
Tacos?
wraps.
I don't like warm lettuce.
You put it on cold, dumbass.
I know, but
It's
it's
a crunch.
well. You can put you know how else you get crunch?
put chips on
Fritos. Fritos gives you a real crunch.
Potato chips on a sandwich, like a ham and cheese
they're
sandwich
legit.
with like Lay's.
Yeah, like the regular Lay's
Still.
chips.
And then you got to put some extra mayonnaise on there because you have dried the shit out of that
Still
thing.
not
But,
lettuce.
Yeah. We got onions, potatoes, strawberries, blackberries, raspberries, 2 apple trees, peach tree, watermelon.
What kind of
pumpkins.
taters are you doing?
I got red and gold.
Ooh, no sweet taters though.
No, I think sweet potatoes are overrated. My wife likes them, but I.
Here's the real debate: is a sweet potato the white one and a yam is the orange one? Because you had white sweet potatoes, them are fucking really good. But is that like a real debate? Is that a sweet tater and the other one's a yam?
There is a difference between a yam and a sweet potato, but I don't know what it is.
I just assumed the white one was the sweet potato. That's what I always say.
Okay.
But I don't know. But they are really good. If you've never had a white sweet potato, they're pretty fucking good though.
Yeah. I don't mind them. They're just not. I'd rather just have a regular potato.
Amber will make them in the air fryer sometimes.
Yeah.
That's pretty solid. Get a little crispy skin on them if you eat the skin.
Yeah.
Do you eat the skin?
Yeah.
Isn't that where
I'm not a fucking child.
Isn't there a lot of the nutrients are in the skin too?
I think so.
They always say that. All the shit you always take off, like that's where the nutrients are. No matter what you do, like, oh, I just ate the skin. Well, the nutrients are on the inside.
Yeah. I ate the whole apple.
What kind of peppers you got going?
I got poblanos, jalapenos, Anaheim, maybe. Green peppers or like bell peppers.
What happened to banana peppers last couple years? Them motherfuckers are hot.
You know what I think?
One of my clients gave me some, and they were like fucking scorching hot.
So what I think happens is that when they, with all the seed crossover and thing, I think that you just get some hot pepper seeds mixed in with them.
Because she was like, I don't understand. I didn't even plant them by jalapenos or anything.
Yeah, I think it's when you actually get the seeds.
Yeah, they were. I cut some because I like banana pepper, just regular banana peppers. Warm.
Yeah.
What'd you find, Matt?
So again, we're going off the first link I found that looked moderately reliable from
Perfect.
eatingwell.com. In the 1930s, farmers created a new type of sweet potato. So sweet potatoes already existed. They were smaller, drier, with white or yellowish flesh.
Oh, there we go.
Sweet potato growers decided to call this new variety a yam, which had the orangish.
Oh, so we were right.
Yeah. So they're technically both kind of the same. Like maybe a yam is a sweet potato
But a sweet potato is not a yam.
yam.
Oh, I get it.
kind of thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So really, it's a marketing thing.
It's like 40 is the new 30.
Do you have the fucking more you know thing? There you go. Hit the button.
Yeah.
I got to get that thing closer to me.
Yeah, I know.
Just like a clicker, like a Jeopardy clicker.
Yeah.
Maybe we should all have a clicker. We all have our own sound.
I think that gets out of control. It's like, what?
Just as soon as someone starts talking, boom, boom. Because one of us has a fart noise.
Yeah. Just don't buzz in like the Jeopardy guy.
And then we got all cherry tomatoes, Roma tomatoes, San Marzano tomatoes.
What's the difference between a Roma and a San Quentin potato?
San Marzano is kind of like you use them for Italian stuff.
I say, what's a Roma tomato? That is not Italian. It sounds Italian.
I don't know.
Or is it Roman? It sounds Roma.
I always put Roma on Mexican food, so I'm not 100% sure.
I do like some good cherry tomatoes, though.
Yeah, we got those.
Yep.
Grapes.
Are you guys starting a vineyard?
Yeah. So I did you see that like pergola? Mm-hmm. So I have it on the backside of it. So what my hope is it's going to grow up the side wall that I have. So I have some like guides to get it up, and then I want to come over the pergola so they come down and have bunches.
Did you put in like some kind of watering system?
Yes. So we have a sprinkler system, and me and my neighbor, we have moved all the sprinklers to like hit all the beds. So
Did you have to move them up out of the ground then so they hit the beds or not?
No, we ended up with the people who built their house had put like an upgraded sprinkler system in, so they're really easy to adjust, and they're not like those cheap little shitty ones. They're actually good, but we decided to move them to hit everything. But yeah, Ryan came over and we freaking moved all. Well, I dug trenches and then he put the things on because he knows what he's doing.
Where was
I did lose a sprinkler though. Like I lost one. Like I put
you set it down and
like I knew there was one in the yard.
Yeah.
But the motherfucker wouldn't come up. Okay, and I was like, oh well, maybe I'm just
performance issues.
Yeah,
Happen.
yeah, just a little ED. And so I dig my garden. Like I put a melon patch in, so it's watermelons, pumpkins, and cantaloupes. Okay. And I dig it all in. Things still won't come up. And then I go and I hit the button, and all of a sudden it comes up, and it's like right behind the pole. I'm like, well, there it is. Have to move some shit, but yeah.
At least you didn't hit the line.
Yeah. Well, I did move the line because when I was digging, I was like, oh, there's a line. So I just shoved it over and moved over.
That's fine.
We don't call Diggers Hotline for anything. I think I know where things are at.
We called them because we have a internet line. So there's only 2 houses down our road. And so there's a internet line that supplies both our houses that runs in front of mine, and it gets the end of my property and then turns in and then continues up to their house. And so we need to redo our ditch because it's just been filled in with like rock and shit and stuff. So we need to trench it out so the water doesn't just pour into my house. And we called Diggers Hotline. We marked where we're going to go, and they're like, nope, there's nothing underground here. And I was like, no, there is. And I know this because I've cut that line before as it came to my house. So I know somewhere here it is. And she's like, no, everything's up above. And I was like, 100% there is at least an internet and a phone line between the road and this point here.
Did you say, hold on, let me record this conversation so when I cut the line, you're responsible for it?
As long as you call them and you like mark out where it is. And so like when you go on, if you go to the Diggers Hotline, sometimes you can have like an aerial view of your property. Like when we put in our bird feeders, there's like a little aerial view. And so I marked on there where I wanted them to go, and then you spray paint on the ground where you're going to dig. And then they're supposed to come and check so many feet left or right of that. And so we had that done before, and then we did it when we were excavating our driveway to extend that out. We did the same thing, and we marked it out, and they're like, "Oh no, you're good." We're like, "All right, cool." And so the Bobcat comes through and like scoops up and dumps, and then just sticking out of the ground is a fucking internet line, and immediately like everything in the house is like. Like
Did you just like wire it back together?
No, well, I ended up doing it. So I called. So that was like, so if CenturyLinks listen to this, you guys can just fuck off with your like.
They probably are.
The people I've talked to from CenturyLink, like the actual humans from customer service, have been super helpful. The actual service has been fucking awful. Like so we cut that line, and you can see it sticking up out of the ground. So I call them, and I say, hey, we cut this line. We had the diggers hotline come out. They marked. They said, we're good. And they go, all right, cool. We'll have someone out there. And it was going to be like 2 weeks. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. Like I said, we both work from home, but I work from home. Like we have to have internet. So even if you just could reconnect it and have the line laying above the ground, like we need this thing hooked up. And they're like, all right. So like someone will be out in the next couple of days. They show up later that day. We're not home. I get a text alert like, hey, technician checked your house, said everything's good. And I was like, cool. So I go back. Nope, nothing's good. The line's still sticking out of the ground. So I take a picture of it, send it back. And they're like, is this a new complaint? I'm like, no. This is the same fucking thing that your guy just came out and said everything was good.
Yeah, apparently you got fucking Stevie Wonder working for you.
Yeah. And so they come out, they hook it up, and they have it there. And I'm like, all right, cool. Like, when are you guys going to trench it? And then we go round and round, and eventually they just say, oh, maybe it was going to be like 6 months before they trench it. And I was like, all right, cool. Well, we have wildlife out here, and sometimes they fuck with stuff. And they're like, well, they eat this line? I'm like, I don't know, maybe. So they don't do
I don't
anything.
know them.
Right. So I go outside, and I just cut it with some shears. And I said, hey, something came through and chewed through our line last night. And the guy shows up the next day, and he's like, something chewed through it, huh? And I was like, yeah, they got real sharp teeth out here. So he hooks it back up, puts in a ticket to have it trenched. Like another week goes by. I'm like, cut it again. Yeah, something chewed through the line. I don't know. So by the time they came out, there were 5 splices from the road to my house because I just kept cutting it.
Do you think that's the problem with the internet service is all the splices?
That definitely was the problem for a while. But eventually it came out like they trenched it and stuff. But then they hook it up and like the box on the side of the house. So before there was just like there was a conduit that comes up and the internet line that came up and went in this conduit. But because we had to put a new splice on there because they trenched a new line, they're supposed to put a new box. So the dude puts a box on there. The line out of the ground comes up into this box, goes through the box, comes out of the box. They splice it together, and then that goes into the conduit back into the house. And I'm like, so, like, what's the box doing here if the splice is not inside the box and the open hole for the conduit is not inside the box? Like, you just pulled something up through this box and back out and then spliced it together.
You get it.
Yeah. Yeah. So the long story of that is like, if you call Diggers Hotline.
That wasn't the long story?
No.
Okay.
If you call Diggers Hotline, they will, and you ask them to mark it, and they say that you're good, and you cut it, then Diggers Hotline has to reimburse whoever you cut. Because we had OPPD come out because we bored through the main power line from the box to our house. And
that's probably fun.
Yeah, it was super cool. I had to get a new auger. Like that was really exciting.
So we were I was putting in a deck, and have you seen those footings that they are sit above ground and you level them out, and then you like run the rebar like 4 foot down, like past the frost line? Yep. Have you seen those? Mm-hmm. They have 4 rebars. My buddy's like, you call Diggers Hotline? I'm like, no. He's like, so he puts a thing in, hands me the jackhammer. He's like, have at it, bud. Like, I'm not doing it because you run a jackhammer to run those things down. Yeah. We're good. No sparks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
What's the worst that would happen? Hit a gas line?
I didn't have gas. I don't have gas in my house. I am getting gas though. MED's putting gas in the house.
Ooh.
I've heard electric's more efficient. I've heard that before too, but I don't know.
I think electric can be more efficient, but one, I like to have a backup, right? Because if your electricity goes out, I can't do anything.
You be running natural gas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, natural gas is way better. Like
yeah, natural gas.
Propane sucks. It's super expensive.
No, I just thought, like with a furnace, I thought somebody said that electric was more efficient because you have more wasted heat with gas. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. I've just
Our heat. So the problem is that, and the HVAC guy was explaining this, is that heat pumps aren't really designed to be as cold as it gets here. So like when you get to like that 20 degree mark or lower, your heat pump's not very good. Your straight electric furnace is not efficient. Well, if it is efficient, it's expensive. Because my electric bill, it's all electric house, but my electric bill in the wintertime will be over $400.
What's your heat set at? Like 97?
No, literally, it's just expensive. Like it runs just.
Is yours electric?
We have a gas furnace, but our AC, like we're $250 a month in the summer at least for AC. Probably the same thing. It's a little bit different because we're on propane, so we pay roughly every other month it comes through. But I think it's still probably $250, almost $300.
Yeah, so it's just nice to have.
But it's also,
we also
when
want
was your house built?
2008.
Oh, so it's a little newer. Because a lot of the efficiency comes from the actual blower unit that's part of your furnace.
Yeah, it was like we had a variable speed motor, and
so
all,
variable speed helps a lot.
Yeah.
And then the efficiency of like how the conduit's laid. So like sometimes putting in booster fans in your conduit, like the way our house is set up, the furnace comes up and then it shoots straight off into a T and then goes to the side. So like the office and the living room get most of the air, but our bedroom, where I want it to be like the coldest, is all the way down at the end, and it has like a little zigzag Z to get to, so it gets the least amount of airflow to it.
So we have like a back office, like on the second floor, back office, like spare bedroom. And this last winter, like because it's on the north side of the house, and there was nothing stopping the wind, and I had fucking frost on the inside of the house. Like I have to keep the doors open and like run a space heater, and they're like, because it gets like you can feel it. Like if you put your hand really close to the vent, you can feel it, but not coming out great. So they upgraded that stuff, and the heat from gas, it gets you that hot. Heat from a heat pump is just like 72 degrees or 70 degrees or whatever you have it set. It's just that temperature.
Yeah, I'd like to go in with our neighbors and do a solar panel field on their horse pasture because they have this big hill that the horses can still run up and down, but it's just this giant east-facing hill with no trees around it at all. And I'm like, I think I priced it out, like rough pricing out, you're probably $25,000, $30,000 total investment for solar panel. But that would generate enough for both of our houses to be completely electric. Like if we wanted to keep the house at 55 in the winter or in the summer, no problem. More than enough electricity for it. Plus give a surplus. And I'm like, hey, whatever surplus, like you guys can.
They have to buy it back.
Yeah, OPPD has to buy it back. But I'm like,
what's the battery setup for your house though?
Well, so the thing of it is like you don't have to have a battery setup.
But what most people don't know with solar panels, if you don't have a battery set up,
then you draw from the
and electricity goes out, your house won't run.
Yeah.
Because they don't want it feeding back into the line. So like most solar panels aren't set up, like they're not like off grid shit. Like if the power goes down, like a power line goes down, you don't have any power still. Because you have to be able to store it. Because the Tesla one, so Tesla has theirs with the battery set up, and then the Tesla shingles, and you flip it off. So you can flip it off so no power back feeds into the line, and you can just run straight off. That would be the only time to actually be like off the grid. But if you had a battery set up, you could do the Tesla battery
set up, and there's some different panel boxes you can get. We've only looked into it just a little bit because I want them to if they were like, fuck yeah, let's do it. I'm like, cool. I will call all the contractors and figure it all out. But some of the panels have a setup where if they sense power coming into the house, and so at that point it's fine, it'll still do its magic because that line is charged, so whether it's coming or going doesn't really matter. But as soon as it senses that there is no power coming into the house, it trips and it closes that thing down so that the solar panel will continue to work, but you can't push backwards into the line, so you don't accidentally charge.
But you have to have that set up.
You have to have that set up in there so you don't back push in there, and then it's a manual flip back.
Because then people who are working on power lines are getting power from you. Yeah. So that's why you can't have it.
They're expecting a line to be down, and they're like, oh, this one's good. Boom. But that'd be sweet because doing, again, rough math, 15 to 18 years, that would pay for itself, and then everything afterwards is just free.
You're such a math nerd. You have a spreadsheet. You have a spreadsheet.
I did spreadsheet it.
You totally did.
But some of them, I looked at a geothermal, and because of the extra work we'd have to do, and we'd have to put a new furnace in and get a different fan and stuff for it, that geothermal would take roughly 30 years.
But geothermal's pretty sweet.
Geothermal,
especially if you start off with
with geothermal and your house is designed to efficiently move air for it, it's great. But for us, like that would be roughly a 30-year before we'd get like our return on investment for that. And so I'm like, well, I mean, it's still like, hopefully we're still in that house at that point, but not really worth it. But that electric panel, if we can get it paid back in 15 to 18 years, like totally worth it.
You can probably get some government money.
Yep. And you can get some money for it.
All right.
So that'd be money.
What did we start off? What did we start off talking about?
Barbecue.
Oh,
But I did this morning. So one of the fire certifications I have and need to retest every year is it's called a federal red card. And it essentially just means that you can go help out with for wildfires on federal land. And there's some training, but one of them that you have to do is you have to do this. They call it the arduous physical test. And it's a 45-pound pack for 3 miles in under 45 minutes, which like on the surface, you're like, oh,
that's moving.
but it's cooking.
Yeah.
It's fucking cooking.
Isn't that the one where you learn to power walk?
Yeah.
Because
So,
you can't run.
Yeah, because you can't run. You have to walk it.
Well, you can't run with it's hard to run with a
Right.
pack.
You don't want to run
Yeah.
with the pack anyway, so that's why they say no. But the good thing is you get to do it on a track. And so buddy who's generally up pretty early, he goes, because we've been talking about doing it this morning, he's like, hey, are you awake? I'm like, yeah, what's up? He goes, do you want to go do our arduous test? And it's, I don't know, 5:45. I'm like, sure. All right, let's go do that. So we went and knocked that out this morning.
So that's like what, 3:30, 3:45
3:45
a lap?
a lap, roughly. Like if it's 3:47 or something.
Huh.
But so I knocked that
On
out.
a track, you could pace it because you could have your watch, you could know where you're at.
So
you could-
100%.
yeah.
Like I start the timer and I keep lap times.
Yeah.
And I know, like I checked it like Scott, the guy I went with, he was a long distance runner in college. And so for like him walking that pace is like, not bad. Like it's pretty easy for him. So like fortunately he was in front of me. So I was like, all right, if I keep like a relatively close distance, like it's not too bad. But yeah, you just time yourself. So I would check it at every 200 meters. I'm like, all right, I'm in a minute 45. But then I did last year when I did it, I had to like power walk the straights essentially to like make sure I was hitting that like 3:30 time. And then this year I had roughly about the same total time, but I only power walked like the first 50 meters of the straight. So a little bit of an improvement from like effort and being able to just walk faster. But dude, shin splints for like the first mile and a half, just on fire. Like my left shin hurts so bad. I'm sure tomorrow I'm like, oh my God, fuck.
So did you make it?
Yeah.
Okay.
How do you record it? How do you just turn it in?
It's kind of just an honor system kind of thing. So I mean, if you
Oh,
want,
they don't test you?
no, like if you want, so once you start going, if you wanted to go to do like one of the fire jumpers or one of like the hot shot crews or something, like that's like a real legit test for those. Like you have to go and do certifications and stuff. But if we're just like wanting to have the card, like we went and took the class, we did all of our initial testing with an official tester. And so now it's the state's kind of like, and I would guess Nebraska's a little more lax on it because there's not a huge demand for like red card firefighters. But if you go like Colorado and out west, there's you can make a legit career out of it and just like do firefighting all season long and stuff. So it's a little more regulated or at least monitored. But yeah, so if you want a challenge, give that thing a run. 45-pound pack, 3 miles, under 45 minutes.
Might give it a shot.
It's
I like doing dumb shit.
yeah, it's a clip.
Me and Brett were talking the other day because in the mornings we like to do a lot of dumb shit.
By we, he means him.
Me and Norman. Norman, you can pretty much talk Norman into anything by calling Norman a pussy, and he will pretty much take your challenge. So
I just supervise it.
Yeah.
So we did like that tricep thing. Brett's talking shit about it, but we put the like tricep extensions on the very bottom, and they did sets of 10.
Yeah.
And I got 55 in. Like I got 55 reps in before like I was done.
Yeah.
Norman got like 35. That Big Ben, that kid from UNL, he ended up with 55 too. I'm like, he went after me. It's like, how did you fail? Like I would have got one more.
Just
Yeah.
one more.
This is when you're an old man.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I'm close, I'm beating you.
100%.
Yeah.
And the nice part about it was a full body for him, the way they were doing them.
Yeah.
I was not rocking.
Making sure you can
Norman
use your
was. I was not. Now I was over. I was a little leaned over, apparently. But I think we should go back to the tape to verify. Because I think Brett's is being a hater. But then we did the ab roller on our toes. So like not on your knees, we're like on our toes.
Yeah.
I did that. Like I did it a few times. Felt pretty good about myself. Like next morning,
I mean, you're strong off your knees.
Yeah, he was on his toes. So.
Yeah.
yeah. The next morning, I go to get out of bed. I'm like, oh shit, that hurts. But I'm pretty much. I bet that is how all strongman, all lifting started. Was two guys sitting around.
100%.
Like, oh, I bet you can't pick up that fucking stone. I can pick up that stone, and then like,
Yeah, think about when like you go back to kids and you're just fucking around.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you can't move it? Watch, I can.
yeah, like that's exactly what happened. Like two guys are in a field trying to move a rock, and then they're like, well, we did it. Hey, Bob, get over here. Bob can't do it. Bob's a pussy. Bob spends all winter long trying to figure out how to pick the stone up. This is the evolution of strongman.
There are, I think, so when you were talking about like the Denny stone handles and like doing Denny stones and stuff, I started looking up. I was like, because I know that there's a number of like lifting stones just around the world.
Yeah.
And there's a website that like has them all logged and like where they are, if you can lift them or if you need permission, what their weights are. And there's like 600 stones worldwide.
Really?
There's a ton of them. There's only like 5 in the U.S.
Are there any close?
No.
No. Maybe we should take the podcast on a tour. We should tour all 600 stone places.
Go to like
We got the budget for that.
Doesn't Scotland have the Denny and the
Ireland and Scotland had the most.
Denny stone and the Braemar stone?
Do we have the budget to travel the world and lift some stones?
I don't know. What do you got for money?
I'm in.
Our budget of 0 income is.
We're gonna need some more downloads.
Sponsorships, it's fine.
Yeah.
We'll do fundraising.
Maybe we can call Eddie Hall, see if he'll sponsor.
I mean, whenever we go down to Al's, he's got a bunch of weird shit you can lift.
Yeah,
Yeah, you got to do those. I want to try those bomb handles again.
yeah. Well, you and I are definitely gonna have a competition.
100%, yeah.
I just was sat in the side by side with Al and watched. Al drove me around on the side by side while him and Derek walked around.
God, some of those are so fun. Like that one, just because it's probably one of the more recent ones. Like you take off and you're like, easy. Like how do people fail this? And then you get down. There's like I think it was close to 3/4 of the way before I sat down.
There's a little bit of an incline on this
like,
hill.
There's a little bit of downs and some ups, and it's like, all right, cool. And then like I hit the tree and it was on.
Most of the downs was him.
Yeah.
Well, and little Theo in
Yeah,
there.
but then fuck, there was like after you make that turn and you get about 1/3 of the way back, was when like life hits you, and I was like,
The problem is that like once you put them down, it's so easier to put them
yeah,
down
'cause
again.
now you've already done, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've known Al for a long time, and we were down there, and we went and showed him like the gym, and it was funny. Him and Matt and Derek are with me, and I was like, "Hey, Brad, jump in here, and I'm gonna go show you this," and just like leaves these guys. And I was like the nicest guy ever, but he's like, "Here, jump on the side by side." And he like drives me around. These guys are just like hanging out.
Start carrying shit.
Yeah, he just like leaves them. He's like, "Here, jump in this, and I'm gonna drive you out here, and we're gonna look at this."
Man, I took some pictures, but it like doesn't do it justice. Like there is so much equipment there, and like so much cool custom made.
Yeah, this whole gym is homemade.
I'm gonna try and do that.
Awesome.
The liftover bench press thing.
Pull over and press.
Yeah, the pull over and press. I'm gonna try and do that sometime.
If you're small enough, you can roll the weight over you.
I just don't know if the bar will go over my head.
Yeah, well,
Probably not.
as long as you turn it sideways.
Like,
Hey guys.
But yeah, once we hear back a weekend from Al, we'll figure it out. We'll
Yeah.
go podcast with Al and do stuff. He's got a real setup down there. He's got some good stories. I talked about doing the podcast, and he was like, "No, I'm just that old guy talking about the old days." And I was like,
he
"Yeah,
was real strong. Like he was legit.
yeah." I think he benched 500.
What's
just a
the
t-shirt.
what's the squat for where you have to take the bar and like put it up and then like from
Steinborn
the
squat?
Yeah.
You have to stand it up on the bar. Sits on the floor. You have to stand it up on end, shimmy yourself under the bar, set the bar on your back, squat it, and then you have to set it back on the ground.
This is a squat, like so you roll it on your back in like the squat position, stand up, and then you have to get it back to the ground.
Yeah, that's the whole move. So you stand the bar up on end. You have to kind of like sit down and kind of like lean sideways, tip the bar onto your back, stand up. They'll give you a squat command. You squat it, and then you have to set it back down.
I have a hard enough time getting like under the center of a bar when it's in a rack. That, I can only imagine that will be a shit show.
Yeah, I mean, you're not probably hitting your maximal efforts on these.
I mean, you're hitting a maximal effort.
Yeah. But yeah, if anybody wants to, like, it's the USAWA. It's the U.S. All Around Weightlifting Association. And it's all those, like, old-timey lifts.
Yeah.
A lot
Well,
of, like,
so it was a Steinborn squat, the pull over and press. There's another one, right?
oh, they have all kinds of...
Oh, they have the one where you have to like hook a like hook a chain to like a belt and like have to lift a shit ton of weight?
Yeah, they had one that you would hook. You wore like a power belt with that had hooks on it, and you'd hook a chain around the bar,
A hip squat or something.
which is like a hip and thigh lift they called it, and then you would stand up with the weight, and then as it got heavier, they'd have to stack plywood under your feet because it'd start to like squish you. So you get up to like 12 or 1,500 pounds on that. And then they have another one where you have a harness on. It's called the harness lift. It goes down between your legs. There's a bar going between your legs. They hook the harness to that, and you have like a metal walker, like an old people walker that you stand in, and you have to stand up with this harness on and get the weight off the floor. And that'll get like you'll get like a couple thousand pounds on it.
And then you said there was like a between your legs.
Well, that's
like
that's a
deadlift?
Jefferson lift that's
Yeah.
been around forever. People have started doing it again. I know Massonomics talked about it, and Nutter Butter does it in here sometimes.
After his fireball shot.
Yeah.
I've never seen him lift without a fireball shot.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
This is pre-workout. It's fine.
But we were at the meet one time, one of the USAWA meet, and the guy, his name was Sean Bear. The guy was a great presser, but he like couldn't do the lift because he had like T-Rex arms. So he would hit his beanbag before he could like lock it out. So he just took like some token lift just to get the lift in.
Just all up in his taint.
Oh, it was bad. He had like little fucking T-Rex arms. And I shouldn't say little. The guy was a big dude, but he was a great presser because I was telling you we had to do the axle clean and press, and you could continental clean it or you could just clean it. But like, I was like me and my business partner at the training studio, Kurt. We did it. Him and I were like done before a lot of those guys started. And we used to do it with Eric Todd. You know Eric Todd? He used to run Casey Strongman.
Oh yeah.
Eric's a super cool guy. The first time I ever met Eric, which I didn't know he's like a special ed teacher, but the first time I met him, he was just sitting in out because we used to go down and we would sleep on the floor in Al's gym and then get up the next morning and compete. So we'd have to get a hotel. And we'd get up in the morning and he'd fucking be like, oh, you guys want some eggs or anything? And he had a green egg like when they first came out. And he just like cracked like a dozen eggs. There'd be some shells in there. He'd just make a bunch of eggs and just fucking eat. But the first time I meet Eric Todd, he's sitting in a chair. And Eric was a good sized dude doing strongman. Sitting in a chair, he's got a beanie on. The sides are rolled up. He's got a shirt with the sleeves rolled up. And he's just petting this cat with the biggest chew I've ever seen in my mouth. Because Al would have a beer and pizza party the night before the competition. He's just sitting there having a beer. And just like looks like a scary individual. And he has a shirt. And it was, what was his thing called? But it was his, like you'd go train with him. And it says, come train with the insane is all it said on his shirt. And he's just sitting there. And I was
Petting the
like,
cat.
yeah. And just like he'd be like, I'll be darned. Like he's got
With
that
like
southern-
a whole can of skull in.
Oh yeah, and then just like
chewing.
just like one of the nicest people ever. Yeah, there was always some cool people down there, and every time we went down there, I'd get drug tested. Every time. This one guy had to get drug tested, and he
For
already
what?
they would just drug test for fucking steroids.
That's dumb.
Well, I'd walk in with with Kurt, my business partner. Well, Kurt would weigh like 180, and I'd be like 220 or 230, and they're like, "You're getting tested."
Oh, they said it's test the guys who obviously weren't on steroids.
Yeah, clearly. But one of the guys, they wanted him to test, and he'd already peed and he couldn't pee, and he was like, "Well, I guess I'm gonna have to take a shit while I do this." So they had to stand there with him while he took a shit and peed in the cup.
Me and my brother were sitting around. My brother pulls out. There's an app online, and you can you put in like your weight, your body fat percent, blah blah blah, and you can have two options. One, like what's the best you can achieve naturally. And two, what are the chances that the person has achieved their physique without drugs?
Is this some made up website?
No, it's actually it was pretty legit. I'll send it to you guys.
Yeah.
What'd it say for you?
Well, it said that I had a 0.6% chance of achieving being natural. I was like, well, yeah, you're right. So
It's cool that you're that 0.6%.
yeah.
That's really
It's like 0.6 or 0.4% of being natural.
that's really neat that you were that percentage.
Oh, I'm definitely not that percentage. I like TRT is good for men. Like, do it. Have fun at it. There's no reason to get old.
TR, is that trend and test?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, not TNT. Yeah, I get it.
Testosterone replacement therapy, sir.
Okay. And if it doesn't work, just more.
More. Yeah.
Well, I told you, what did you say when I failed my last 300-pound strict press? Thought about more drugs. Actually, yeah, I have.
You can train more or
Yeah. Or you can trend more.
Yeah. God, trend's so scary. I won't do it. It's fun.
I've never done any of it, so
Yeah.
Do you do testosterone replacement? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't.
he's not like the spokesman for it.
I promise
Valid.
results could be better.
Results may vary.
They were like, Matt, can you come do a commercial for us and talk about your success with it?
No, like when you get to a certain age, like when you're 35, 40 and you want to keep going, like you can either fight against Father Time or you can say, fuck it. You know what? I can just take a little.
You're going to take Tylenol when you have a headache.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I just don't care. Like people want to talk shit. It's like, I'm 45 fucking years old. Eat balls. You're 22. I didn't have to do TRT at 22.
Well, they're 22 with their fingernails painted and green hair.
Yeah.
I just don't get it. Just not as strong as the other kids. Yeah, it's too bad. Did you find this website? Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah. I'm gonna forward it to you, both of you fuckers.
I'm going to see how natural I am.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's gonna say there's no way you're on TRT.
Are you a woman?
Actually, so
What is a woman?
Actually, when he told me, I was like, "Well, thank God." You know what I mean? Like, what would be like? Well, 75% chance of being natural. You're like, "Well, fuck."
You're like, this website's a fucking scam.
Right.
Well, we'll check it out. It's probably
We can check it out and we can put it on our update so you can see how natural both of you are.
Is it like a lot of information you have to?
No.
I don't even know what
Super.
my body fat is. It's probably like 5%.
I mean, it has a 5 in it, but it might be the first number.
I don't think so. That was rude. That was rude. Bunch of fucking druggies. I never really natural one in here. Bunch of fucking druggies. God.
That was like Big Mike Van Wyck. Was like all these fucking guys were like natty. He's like, you know, all that means is you have a smaller fucking casket. Like that's all it means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, to each their own.
Hey,
Whatever you want to do.
just be responsible.
This podcast really went nowhere at all. It was just all over, but nowhere at the same time.
I mean, I felt like we touched on some things.
Yeah, we touched on your garden.
Yeah.
Matt, we're going to get him that flag for his garden.
Yeah.
And if you don't fly it, we're going to be very offended if you don't fly it.
Of course you would be.
Yeah.
Because you're part of the flag.
No, it was a gift. Yeah. It was a gift. I'm taking it with me.
So we were talking about barbecue, so we can go back to that for a second.
It says I have a 0% chance of being natural.
There you go, bud.
Did you really just do it?
Yeah.
Do you know what your body fat is?
Yeah.
What's your body fat?
20.7.
Your body fat's 20.7?
I just did
That's
one
pretty.
of those.
It's pretty low.
I did one of the so the gal that's doing the like outside workout program.
Move your mic closer. You're just talking into nowhere.
The gal that's doing the outside workout stuff, like part of their like little package they have one of the in-body scans. It's not like the super fancy one, but it's like gives you the basic stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that thing came back at 20.5 or 20.7 at 3.
Hey, Brett, why don't you come out to the store and I'll throw you on the
Yeah.
in-body and then we can put you in there.
Yeah.
Why, you just want to see me stripped down to nothing?
Exactly.
You fucking, I knew you were a gay one.
Well, that makes me feel pretty good.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
I mean, you don't want it to say
Right.
100%. I don't think.
So underneath there it says, how does your FFMI,
Yeah.
whatever, compare? So like 28, the way they describe 28 is the largest natural trainee ever scientifically
Yes.
documented. And I have a score of 29.9.
There you go. Yeah.
Fuck yeah, this is the best day
I don't
ever.
even know, I don't even know what
quit.
my body fat is.
I'm fucking over it. We can go figure out right now. I mean, we'll have to drive a little bit, but
Fucking Matt's pumped. Matt's like,
fucking-
What'd you
life
say
is
yours
good.
was?
my FFMI score was
No, what was your body fat?
20.5 is what the little thing said.
Tanner, you see people all the time. Where do you think I'm at from where Matt is?
I mean, you're probably within range. I would say like 24, 25.
You think I'm 5% higher than Matt, huh?
Yeah, you're fat as fuck.
Just not Matt. Not no.
He said he's 20.4.
He's. I don't know. His chest is bigger than yours.
Get the fuck out of here.
That's true.
I just put in 20.4.
Yeah,
Don't fucking ask questions you don't want to answer to, Brett.
right.
I was just asking. I feel like Matt and I are fairly comparable.
Well, but Matt just got all shreddy because he just did 75 hard.
True.
How do you know I wasn't shreddy already? What's my desired body fat? Is that what you put in there too?
No. Go to. Don't put like what your natural potential is. Put like, are you?
So yeah, do the second, the very first option. Pick the. I want to estimate if someone is.
Well, I'm gonna have to fucking like do some more drugs, Matt, because my FFMI is
It says chances of achieving this without drugs
yeah.
is 0.
I think I get skewed. It must get skewed with weight.
I think it's skewed with weight and body.
Yeah, like it just doesn't understand.
Yeah.
Because I put 5'10", 275.
There you go.
What was
See?
your
You're
FFMI
yoked.
score?
Like I already knew I'm just a fucking big gabagoo.
Yeah. So if
I mean, you have a shit ton, you have a lot of muscle.
Yeah, because even if I want body fat up to, let's try 30. I did 25 and it gave me.
So my normalized, that whatever it is 31.5.
You are Shredsville.
Dude, you're fucking
Do you know what that 31.5, like, what was yours?
29.9.
So you're that one to the largest natural training ever scientific documented. So I'm up there too then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at you.
If you were an 18, you'd be an average Caucasian.
Yeah.
How does that work? Like, it doesn't even ask what fucking race
It
you
doesn't
are.
matter.
Yeah.
It uses average Caucasian as the baseline.
What the fuck?
Fuck yeah.
This site's fucking rigged.
Hey, it makes us all feel good about ourselves, so fuck it.
Oh, I put my body fat was 25%, 25.4, and it put 0.1% that I'm achieving this without drugs.
There you go. Look at you. You're in the 0.1%, Brett.
I've always known I was a 1%er.
Maybe it's all that horse semen you drink.
I don't think that helps at all.
But do you know that it doesn't? And you didn't say that you didn't drink it.
I know, I was wondering if you're going to catch that. Good job.
I was just going to say there's no denial.
Wait a minute.
So anyway, back to barbecue. What are you going to make, Matt? What are you going to get? You have to have some kind of idea. And are they even open today? It's Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah.
They'll be open today, just not tomorrow,
Yeah.
probably.
Well, you're going to go there.
Well,
So
I'm just gonna go there and see what they have. They have some. I don't remember what kind of beef cut it is, but it's like a fancy chuck roast that you can do just like a brisket. I don't remember what the cut was called, but I'll probably get that. I do want to try some of their ribs. Like they generally have like pork ribs and stuff.
my sister
Otherwise,
picked me
I
up some
would
ribeyes
beef
from
tender
Fairway the
wings.
other day. Those are pretty solid.
You know what I did the other day? I actually cleaned my Traeger out before something bad happened.
Before you had a bonfire.
Yeah. I was like pretty proud. Like I
Yeah.
went inside and I told Nicole, I'm like, all right, so I did definitely wait too long because it was pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
But nothing caught on fire first. So I feel like I'm ahead.
Yeah.
Do you have some of their degreaser?
No.
That works pretty good.
Yeah, that works really
I just buy there. You can buy other natural ones. I just buy theirs because it's like
Yep.
easier to find.
Okay.
But it's just good. You can wipe out the inside of your Traeger and wipe off like your drip pan because that'll leak through the foil sometimes.
I don't have foil. I'm straight on the drip pan.
If you put foil on there,
You're
it
a
takes way less time to
monster.
clean. Yeah.
No, because then basically, like after it crusts up, it's like a little like level.
Just seasoning it, right?
Yeah, and then all you have to do is like take like a little spatula and like pop, and it comes off in chunks. It's actually just not that hard.
Literally, I just take the foil and go and throw it away.
Yeah, that'll be easier.
I did take the racks out of the big timberline, and I had like I don't know why we had this big rubber tub. I think it was probably for chicken something. But I put like a whole bottle of that degreaser in there, filled it up with water, and set those racks in there. That was a lot of baked on grease
That's flavor.
stuff. It was flavor, except like
You can pressure wash them too. I know.
the amount of chunks that came off there.
So you know, like when things that are like you season pans or you season your Blackstone, it's like basically you just dirty it up.
Yeah.
I just saw a grill
Building
the
up
other day.
layers of like blackened, charred oil.
Yeah.
I was looking at a griddle the other day and it already comes pre-seasoned, ready out of the box. It says.
I think they do that, but you still need to
Oil them.
like oil them and do them up.
Because the one, it's like you can literally pull it out of the box and cook.
Huh.
I mean, you might. I mean, Lodge, I think, essentially says all their pans you can do that with. But like, I look at the pan that I got, that was my grandma's, that my dad had, that I got, and it's just like a little, maybe a 10-inch flat griddle, and that thing is just like glass on top. So that's fucking great. Like, you can do eggs on there, no problem. So I'm working on getting my smaller big cast iron is almost to that level. But
We got a couple cast irons that are to that level. My Blackstone's getting to that level.
Because you probably don't ever clean that either.
I scrape it.
Yeah.
Oh,
You don't
Good for you.
clean it too much, but
Do you know what I hate about that fucking Blackstone?
the drain.
Oh my
So you know what they make?
freaking god!
They make a flat rock.
Yeah, they make a flat rock also. Traeger
Yeah,
does.
I'm going to do that
But
next.
they make a drain system now that you put it's got a little bowl thing that goes on the back.
Yeah.
And it's got a hole in the bottom, and it comes with a hose, and you can run it into like a coffee can with a lid on it.
Oh, that's
Amber's uncle got a cup. He actually got two, so
because they fill up with water.
Coach X was looking
Like
for
when
one.
it rains, even when you have your freaking cover on there.
Yeah, and somebody just took a coffee can and they cut a hole in the lid and just stuck the hose in there. But they make a bucket too, and you can probably get the bucket liners.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
My Nicole
or just get a flat rock.
Nicole sent me a text. She's like, "What is this?" And I just have like one of those like shitty like Rubbermaid like yard trash cans sitting there that's just full of like water and grease and shit. I'm like, I got it. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about that.
It's been raining a lot. I've been using all this shit, and I just keep dumping stuff in this trash can because it just pisses me off.
Until you can't move the trash can because it's so fucking heavy it's stuck there.
We're probably getting closer to that point. I'm probably gonna have to move it.
Well,
soon.
it's a good thing the steroids are there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's when the handle breaks off the trash can.
Fucking worst. The worst.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Well,
So yeah, I cleaned my Traeger out.
Good.
We all cannot achieve our bodies without steroids.
Yep.
So that's good.
yeah. I went to clean both my Traegers yesterday, and the one I had already recently cleaned. And I was like, well, look at that. Saved me some time.
You just vacuum it out.
I vacuum it out. So when I open it up, I scrape the grates off. I pull those out, and then most of the shit's on the foil. Then I take the foil out with the drip pan, and then I vacuum it all out.
Yeah.
And then I'll wipe down the inside with the degreaser.
See, I've never gotten to that point.
Get to the the timberlines start on fire. Then I throw some because you got to put some. You want to vacuum the cup out for sure because it gets too much ash in there and it won't work right.
Yep.
Vacuum that out, and I throw like a handful of pellets in there so it can get going, and then put all the shit back together. And then I use that degreaser and wipe off the outside of it too.
Do you guys have you guys got the competition pellets from Helping You Barbecue? Their own bag.
I have before. I just go straight hickory all the time now.
I just like their competition pellets. It's like, it's got a little bit of everything. What flavor do you want? Don't know. Put competition in there. I don't have to think about it.
That is like a good safe bet because I think those are generally hickory, cherry, and then like oak for temperature.
Yeah.
So they're
I just
pretty
like.
solid.
Yeah, I see the lumberjack hickories.
Well, they have the freaking giant bags out there at Helping You Barbecue. Is it their own? Do they? I think they have their own that they have the competition
might.
ones.
If you go get,
It's probably lumberjack.
No,
it's
they
like
have
a-
the lumberjack and they have, but they like
it's like
off
a
it.
clear bag and just has like a white
Oh.
Yeah,
label on it.
and it just says like competition. Like I think it's their own.
If you go, my sister got it for me, and it's from a pet store. But have you seen those like the pet food vaults?
Yeah,
That's what I keep my pellets in outside. So you can have that giant bag, you can pour it in there. It'll hold like 50, 60 pounds of pellets.
oh, that's a good. And then you just scoop it like a.
Yeah, and she got me a big scoop thing or whatever. But yeah, then it's watertight. Hers survived the tornado. So, and she's got me the little, it's like kind of angled. So the lid kind of angles towards you. Yeah, and that's why I keep pellets. They say super dry in it.
My buddy's dad only buys old Traegers. Like he finds them and just buys them and then like cleans them up and replaces a controller or whatever.
Well, a lot of times you can just either put the new hot rod in it or the controller and it's fine.
Yeah, because he apparently, he told me the year. I don't remember which year it was, but prior to this year, they were all made in America, and then after this year, they weren't. So he only buys the American-made ones.
The one that I bought for my sister that we used to use down here was a smaller one. And then I used it here for a long time. And then I sold it. She had it for a long time. I sold it to Mike Meyer when I was hauling it. It fell over in my truck. We put it back together at Mike's house. He fired up and then he used it and it went through, I think, 2 windstorms.
Yep. Fell over, never been cleaned.
Yeah. And you can tell the old ones because it had a metal Traeger emblem on it.
And the knob looks different.
Yeah, they were
So
they were pretty solid. They built back then.
I'm grabbing one that's like that size from him for like $150.
Oh, nice.
The giant one?
It's like that. It's like that wide. It doesn't have the box in the front, but it's a fucking huge one. I don't need it all the time, but it's like $150. I'll just put it out there and
Yeah.
You can
but-
never have too many smokers. I try to tell Amber that all the time.
right. Well, but there are times where I'm not really smoking something on it, like I'm more grilling on it, but you like want to do like 20 burgers or something. It's a pain in the ass. Like have a bigger one.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's barbecue season. Everybody get out there and do some barbecue.
I think I'm gonna do some chicken thighs because those are easy. The W sauce chicken thighs are really good.
I got
Super
mine
easy.
marinating right now.
Yeah,
Do some smoked cream cheese. That's also good if you've never done that. 225 for 2 hours.
man.
I don't understand how it doesn't change shape. This is the same reason I don't eat tofu, because it doesn't change shape and it
I
weirds me
wonder if
out.
you could smoke Velveeta, because that's not really cheese.
You can cold smoke it. I've cold smoked Velveeta for. So I used Meat Church's. I always call it barf dip, but you know, like the different cheeses, and then you put what's the pepper shit you put in there, the paprika.
Jalapenos?
No, it's on the Velveeta recipe. It's like it's not chili.
Oh, the
paste.
Rotel.
The Rotel, yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, but you're cooking it in like you're cooking it at like a high enough temperature, and it's fast enough. It doesn't get a lot of smoke in it, and you stir it a lot.
Yeah.
But so I cold smoked all the cheese, like 2 days before. So I cold smoked the Velveeta and everything, and then put it in there. Because I got one of those Dutch ovens from Lodge.
Look at you fancying up some government cheese.
I like Velveeta, man.
Dude, it's legit shitty cheese. It's great.
I know, but like every time you
And then it's called cheese product.
Right.
Okay.
Well, obviously because it's in the fucking aisle and not in the dairy section. So
But once you open it, you should refrigerate
Right,
it.
you have to refrigerate it because it's cheese.
yeah, ish.
Yeah, my parents
I mean,
said
we
that. We
have
said like a
we have
slicer.
it. Like we have it because like when Molly wants to make homemade macaroni and
'Cause it's
cheese, you put
gooey.
Velveeta in it. Yeah, duh.
Yeah. But yeah.
It's legit.
So everybody get out there and barbecue. It's that time of year.
Voodoo with the W sauce, and I told you that like Walmart has the La Costanita, like it's a can of like pickled jalapenos. It's like $1.50 or something, like 20 some ounce can. Just pour that in there with your chicken thighs. Oh, you get it's not hot. You just get that freaking sweet jalapeno flavor through it, and then freaking Voodoo on them. It's pretty good.
So I do the voodoo, and then you put pepper jack cheese on them, and then you make a Sammy out of it
Yeah,
with like the like onion strings or jalapeno strings.
and then you were talking about that cream cheese. Nicole made some strawberry jalapeno jam. Oh, so freaking good.
That is super good.
Yeah. We're gonna do habanero mango. Mango.
Nice.
Mangoes are weird. Have you ever had like we got mangoes and I tried to eat one? Like they have a weird fucking pit. Have you ever ate a mango? Like the pit is like it's like a disc. It's like flat and it's like the whole size of the mango. So it makes a mango really fucking hard to eat. Like I'm trying to.
Do you have a mango tree in your backyard too?
No, we're in Nebraska, bud. But I would definitely have an avocado tree.
They started wineries here.
Grapes can grow.
Do a geothermal greenhouse.
Yeah, why couldn't
Shut the fuck up.
why couldn't a mango tree go
Shut
here?
up.
Yeah, Nicole, you want one of those? You want a mango tree in your yard?
Yeah.
Oh no, she wants a mango tree and palm trees and avocado tree in our freaking greenhouse. That I'm not.
Yeah. You could do some jerry rig geothermal stuff.
If I have a greenhouse, I'm gonna grow weed.
You're not.
I know.
You're a big talker. You're not. You're gonna go mango trees and fucking palm trees.
Come on, I had to like throw something tough in there while I'm fucking being a farmer Tanner over here.
It's too far gone.
All right,
You don't even have a tractor.
I don't.
Oh, you don't have a tractor?
Why do I need
Not
a
even
tractor?
subcontract-
So you at least look like
Get
you
a fucking
fucking. You don't
tractor.
even.
Get a
Okay.
little subcontract.
I'm a manual laborer.
You don't even
Like,
drive a pickup. This doesn't help your case.
I drive hers
We know.
to get the dirt. And
She
then I
lets me get the dirt, and then
Get
she
yourself
lets
a
me
little
shovel the dirt.
subcompact tractor.
And then I fucking
Yeah, Matt's got a little
wheelbarrow,
contractor,
and then
a little
Yeah.
little tractor.
Get like your little Kubota BX. Yeah, little subcompact. Get a little bucket on the front.
Get a mower, and it's a mower.
I was
a
out
mower.
at Ty's Outdoor Power. Man, they have some cool shit out there.
Right?
Oh my god. Like those freaking zero turn what's the yellow? What's the yellow brand?
Hustlers.
Yeah, the Hustler zero turn mowers. Like I've been having to mow like twice a week. It's fucking stupid.
Because he cares too much.
No, it's not because I care. I try not to care, but it's because like she looks out the yard yesterday. She's like, "Oh, look at when the wind blows, it looks like a prairie." I'm like, "Fuck off!" I've been mowing this thing.
You kind of make it sound like you do everything and she does nothing.
No, I do I do the outside stuff. She does all the weeding. I hate weeding, so she does all the weeding. She walks through. She waters the stuff that. We do have a couple things that she has to manual water. She does all the herbs herself, and she does all the cooking. Like I'm a sous chef. Like I help with the
I
cooking.
was just,
You're just trying to be a dick.
just looking out for Nicole over, making sure she's getting some street cred.
Oh no, she does.
Even though
We're a good team.
Even though craft services has really fallen off lately.
Oh, so I'm going to actually go ask you this question. So if you guys are out in a group, so I tried to make a rule last night. It didn't go as planned. But like when you're in a group of people, right, and your wife's with you, I was trying to tell her that like whichever one of us like makes a point first, the other one should agree with the point.
That's not going to happen.
And then if you disagree, we can disagree when people
later.
leave.
But otherwise, to the external world, like we're a team.
Yeah,
We're united.
100% all the time. She's like not fucking happy.
Well, what did you? First of all, what stupid thing did you say?
No, like I had my son and his fiance over last night. We were talking about politics and there.
Oh, that's
Oh,
a bad idea.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Because who didn't agree with you?
Everyone.
No, his fiance.
She doesn't have the same views as you.
Well, we were talking about Harrison Butker.
I think that could go a lot of way for a lot of different people politically and different parties. I think a lot of people have a different view on it.
My point was
Because you could interpret what he said a couple different ways.
my main point was is that most people never listen to what he said, and they only listen to commentary on what he said. So if you're only listening to commentary on what he said, it's going to be slanted at whatever the commentator feels, right? Like you can listen to what he said and you can take it whatever way you want. But my other point was we have rapists in the NFL, people who beat their wives, people who break all kinds of laws, do all kinds of like dumb shit, right? And we just like P. Diddy beating his wife. The video just came out where he beat the shit out of her in a hallway. You know, everyone knew about it, but no one did anything. And we just turn our head to that. But he says something, and he was actually holding his wife to on a pedestal, in my opinion. And then he gets crucified for it. I'm like, the fuck? Like, you're okay with this guy having 19 like kids and like being charged with rape, murder, like what's his name, who is freaking getting handies, freaking who's the quarterback?
Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson, possibly in a fucking like sex trafficking ring. Oh, that's okay. You can throw a football. The fucking kicker says something. Now all of a sudden he needs to be out of the NFL.
And I saw somebody put that he should be fired and they should have a female kicker.
No. Well, they could, but they would never.
If they found a female kicker who could kick as good or better than a male, they would 100% bring him in.
But that doesn't happen.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing is.
So we had disagreement. My only
take
point is that we're a team, ma'am.
Well, here's my thing on it too.
If we need to change views, we change views together outside or like in our own home.
She laughed at me. She's like, "You were so serious about this." I said, "Yeah." I mean, I sat down like to have a serious conversation, and then she laughed. It worked out well. We're a good team.
I think on.
And she agrees.
I think on that speech, like you said, they're showing different clips, like media clips and whatever. The thing is, it's like he was giving a speech based off Catholic religion. With Catholic religion is very old school, and the idea that the wife is the caretaker of the home and raises the kids. You know what I mean? Like, and that was kind of the direction he was going with it. But he was giving this speech at a very devout Catholic college. He wasn't just giving it like, it'd be like go to the other extreme. It'd be like you see a speech from a Klan meeting and you're like, can you believe they said that? Yes, I can. He was speaking to his crowd.
But like the problem I have with most people's takes on it is that he says, first off, congratulations to all the women out there who completed this. Is a big accomplishment for you. Okay. And many of you are going to go on to have successful careers and other things. But for some of you, or many of you, he may have said many of you, your biggest accomplishment in life is going to be being a wife and a mother. And that's okay. Like, I don't see what he didn't say like this is your job. I think he was just telling women it is okay if this is what you want to do, because women are told they can't, right? Like look around at who would complain about who would talk shit about a housewife, and it's not men. Men don't do that. Women complain about those people, not men. right? I think he was just like, I think his point was, if you want to do this, it's okay. You're not lesser than for being a housewife or for being a mother. If that's,
Well,
if that's
at
what
that
you,
point, is it like low key jealousy that they have to get up and go to work every day, and the other person, and being a stay at home mom with kids, that's work. I'm not saying it's not. Don't take it that way. Or are they just jealous that they have to get up and go somewhere with this other person? Like, oh, they just stay home with their kids and don't have to fucking do anything. Like, is that their jealousy?
I think part of it is that for, like we've talked about before, people only think their way is right. Okay, so if you think that if you think that women should not be stay-at-home moms and not do that, then you're going to be mad if someone says it. I think he was just telling women that, like, you can do this if you want to. Like, I hold my wife to this super high pedestal. She makes me a better father and a better husband. She makes sure I keep my priorities right. She holds me up here, and I can't do anything. And he says, I can't do any of what I do without her. Right? I think all he was saying was that it's okay if that's what you do. You have a degree and you can do whatever you want, but if you choose this path, it's fine. That was his point. And then people took it like he only thinks women. His mom's a physicist or something. Like that was not the point of what he's saying. He's not saying women.
Well,
but
like
Jason Kelsey, did you see what Jason Kelsey said?
Yeah.
He's like, my wife came in and started complaining about it. I was like, first off, you're going to have to get back in the kitchen and make me a sandwich.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and now all I was saying was that you also have to look at the crowd someone's speaking to. Like, if I was going to go and do a speech about training at a conference, obviously I'm going to talk about training things. And if you're like, can you believe this? That what he said? Yes.
No.
Look at the crowd he's talking to.
Yeah, he
didn't go to like a Lutheran school and give this Catholic speech. He gave a Catholic speech at a Catholic school.
Right. And once again, I think
because he talks about going and doing the Latin mass and following the Catholic views. He's at a Catholic school.
Yeah, I just think his point was, I just think people miss the point. They took whatever they wanted. And that my point to her, to my wife's, to my son's fiance last night was, hey, just did you watch it or are you just listening to commentary on it? Because most people that I've had who have been mad about it that I've talked to, like, have you listened to it? No.
Well, that's everything the media, they cut people's speeches and they make stuff seem what it's not. And that's why I said a long time ago, unless I've actually watched the whole thing, you can't believe anything until you've seen it yourself.
It's 20 minutes. He touches on a lot of things that people are going to disagree on. I get it. To your point, he was giving a commencement speech at a Catholic school.
Like a pretty devout Catholic school.
Yes. So there's a lot of things that people can disagree on. But once again, I hate the idea of, okay, this guy needs to be fired. Or this guy's the worst person ever. It's like, so you're taking what he said and you're trying to label him as a Nazi. You know what I mean? Or like, really? Did you listen? I doubt you did. And if you did, you listened through a lens that you were trying to be pissed.
Yeah.
So just don't.
Yeah. But yeah, you can't make social gathering rules.
No. So.
No, you can't make social gathering rules and tell your wife she has to agree with you. You already know that wasn't going to work.
You know what? You're right. But I made an effort.
You can strategize ahead of time.
Yeah.
Because we've gone out and decided, like, you're going with people who we know are going to say whatever. And it's like, all right, like, are we going to push this? Because, like, mostly she's talking to me. It's like, Matt, like, we know so-and-so is going to say whatever. Like, don't be super confrontational.
So my wife, like Nicole made a really good point. Like when it comes to, and this is just me in general. Like if we were in a group and one of you said something to me, I would listen to you, right? There are some, but like a lot of people I don't. Right. A lot of people I will talk over, or I don't value their opinion, or I think they're uneducated, and I've already made my mind up. That's something that I work with and I try to be better at. But she said, sometimes I feel like I'm the only voice in the room you'll listen to. So she has to say something. And I'm like, well, you're right, because you're the only voice in the room that I will listen to. Because you're my partner and I value your opinion, and you know me better than anyone else does. Like, everything about me. You know where this is going. You know what I'm going to say before I say it. So she does it. I mean, yes, but it was funny because she just laughed.
She's like, no.
No. She's like, you talk the most and you talk first and you talk the loudest. I can't always agree with you.
She does know you.
Yeah, she does. Right. Yeah. I love her, but she knows me. But
We're a team, babe. Come on.
we're a team. You got my back. I do have your back, but
And this is me having your back. Not how you wanted it, but
yeah.
I feel like we talked about a lot, but really covered nothing.
I feel like it was successful.
I feel good about it.
All right.
I mean, Matt's fucking yoked. He's fine.
Right? I mean, we're like top level specimens.
We are 1%ers after
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, 0%ers.
0%.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Yeah. The best of the best of the best.
All right. Well, I hope everyone had a great Memorial Day and barbecued something by the time you hear this. Thanks for listening. Please like, subscribe, share, follow. And remember, if you don't listen to it, they don't auto-download anymore.
Yeah, just download the damn thing.
Just download and listen to it.
Yeah.
Even if you don't learn something, you're probably going to laugh at least once or twice.
Yeah.
Because we just want you to be a little less shitty every day.
Yep. I wore this. I had this shirt on for pretty much all day on Thursday, maybe. So I do like a lot of these video Zoom calls for work, and like no one said anything until like my second to last meeting of the day, and I was like, oh shit. So I just like, oh, green shirt. I have a bunch of green shirts. Didn't really.
It's a really nice color.
It is. It's a nice color, and everyone agreed with the message, so it's fine.
That's all we can do.
Yeah.
Try to be a little less shitty every day.
Little less.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time.